What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cousins' version of All In. Anthony said, Marco, we got to deal with fanatics now. Don't act different. Oh, let's do the Giordani real quick. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We're acting different now. I got that Ermy belt on. You don't even know. This is Stefano Ricci. You don't know nothing about that. But anyways, long story short, give us an intro.
Listen, I told this guy, first of all, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. You know what to do, especially now. However, I told this guy, dress to impress tonight, look good. I did not tell him to put the Ace Rothstein starter pack on, but he did it anyways.
How you doing?
Let's get right into some college ball. We got brackets. We got people mad. We got people happy. We got seeds. We got all kinds of shit.
I'm mad. So anyways, first 4 seeds, they got to bye. We're going to go through them. Oregon 1, Georgia 2, Boise State 3, Arizona State 4. Someone enlighten me on how Boise State and Arizona State have byes. Please enlighten me. They are an underdog against almost every single team on the other side that doesn't have a bye. Outside of Clemson, because Clemson was actually they're an underdog almost against every single team on the other side of that bracket. That is unreal. It's disgusting. I think that this was like the Make Everybody Happy Bowl this year. Like, they're just trying to make sure, hey, see, the little guy's got a chance. And that's where we're at. What do you think about this?
I think it's horrible. Listen, even a team, an 8th or a 9th seed team like Ohio State or Tennessee, I mean, when you say, okay, can the 8th seed Ohio State beat the 3 seed Boise State? It's like, yeah, I think they could beat them to sleep. It's like the 9 seed Tennessee. Can they beat the number 4 Arizona State?
It's not even a question.
Yeah.
The best 4 teams should have been in the byes. How they did this was disgusting, and that must change. I do not agree with that at all. I understand where they came from, but I don't agree with it, and I don't care what anybody else says. Anyways, we're going to get back to it. I'm just going to say it, and I don't care about people's feelings. Alabama should have been in. You can't tell me Alabama and the ACC they probably wouldn't have lost 1 game, and if they did, it would have maybe been 1. Maybe 2.
Probably not even 1.
I know, but I'm playing devil's advocate.
Like 1 at the probably the most.
Yeah, if Alabama had SMU schedule, probably undefeated.
Undefeated, number 1
If they had
seed.
Miami schedule, probably undefeated.
Yeah.
If they would have had a Clemson schedule, maybe a couple losses. Clemson, 2 or 3 losses were the SEC teams. To your point,
exactly.
South Carolina at the end and Georgia in the opener.
Right. So all I'm going to say here is
they're going to make adjustments for next year because they got to get the best 4 seeds to get byes.
Yes.
And they did like the participation trophy. We're going to award your conference a bye, even though you might not even be ranked. I mean, what are we doing here? You mentioned Ohio State, Texas, even Penn State, Notre Dame.
I can argue that South Carolina deserved to be in over Indiana.
Sure.
And I get it. And I'm not, listen, I love the Indiana story. I'm not, all I'm saying is if you took Indiana and you put them against South Carolina, what's the line? South Carolina's probably -4. So whatever. Indiana had they're in.
The best Big Ten team available is Illinois, and they're already double-digit dogs to South Carolina in their bowl game. So it just goes to show.
What is it?
It's like 11.
Which bowl is that?
I think it's the Citrus officially. Because the Reliquest is Alabama,
Do
Michigan.
not the Reliquest.
Yeah, it used to be the Outback.
Stupid? The Citrus Bowl should have been Rutgers versus South Carolina. But because of that, call the timeout on that field goal, whatever.
Yes.
Anyways, long story short, we're going to talk about matchups, who we like next week on these, but that was just our 2 cents, Cousins' 2 cents on the bracket.
I'm not even a Bama guy, and I agree with you. They should have had it.
Just saying. And whatever.
They should have.
Well, I guess we're going to find out how SMU fans travel. I heard they're rich. Better start traveling. Show the committee you got some Zort.
It's a little Southern Methodist Zort.
All right, here we go. NFL news. Lions squeak by 12-1. I could have told you that game was, both sides. I probably would have had Green Bay plus the points. You probably would have taken Detroit on the money line. What do you think?
It was a big balls game for Dan Campbell. That's what I think. I think the guy with the most balls.
Do you agree with the balls?
Game. I mean, these two teams, they came in pretty evenly matched. I mean, I obviously could give the edge to the Lions with what they've been able to do this season. But Green Bay is a really great organization. I always say that. And they're a really good team. And they came to play on a very weird Thursday night. Thursday nights get creepy.
They do. Thursday nights are weird nights. Good teams just seem to not play great. But that was a great game.
A great game. I mean, listen, here's the deal. A team deserves the win when they say, listen, instead of kind of taking these 3 points and going up and winning and probably potentially winning this thing or at least allowing the other team to tie, they line up and Jared Goff falls down and he still completes that handoff. And I mean, it's just huge.
It's impressive.
But is it going to last, though?
We're going to find out.
But in playoff football, I don't want to see my QB falling down on one knee and handing the ball off for the the play of his life.
Yeah. They got stuffed at the 30. They ran
they went for it on their own 29.
They ran a pitch to Gibbs.
They are crazy, I'll tell you that.
And that failed.
All right, next one. Bucks beat the Raiders. They're in the lead in the South. That organization just seems to always figure it out. Just no matter what's going on, they're relevant. You can't hate them. But the thing is they only have a 1-game lead somehow on the Falcons, and the Falcons beat them twice. Blows my mind. I don't understand. I don't get it. The Bucks beat the Lions but lost to the Falcons twice. Riddle me that, Billy.
That's true.
It's just a crazy organization.
That's the Lions' only loss that game.
That costed me $3.2 million.
Yeah. The bottom line about the Bucks is Todd Bowles is a phenomenal coach. The Bucks have a great organization. They extended Baker. Since they've extended him, he's only really played better.
Yeah.
And they lost Godwin, and they haven't missed a beat. I mean, they got Evans back in the lineup, and they're a contender. I mean, they
are
plays,
a contender.
McMillan's looked good hard as a rookie.
Yeah, McMillan looks great.
Big game.
And they're getting that 2-back set going.
Yes.
Bucky.
Yeah, which is very impressive and very hard to stop.
Bucky. All right, next one. Philadelphia Eagles, they win. Locker room's talking, I need the ball more. That's where Sirianni's got to be the head coach. Grab him by the face mask and say, I'm the leader of this team, and if you talk like that again, I'll just throw you out. And they need to have that fear. Or they need to hear okay, yeah, you know what? You are a big bad man. I'll blow my entire career on proving a point that you can't act like that in the locker room. Bold statement, sure. But when your players start talking like that, it creates a very toxic culture. People start to look at each other a little different, and it's a snowball effect of negativity. Do you have any feelings on that?
Yeah, I got a lot of feelings on it. I mean, listen, this is the NFL. They say it's any given Sunday. I always say these are pros versus pros. So whether you're playing Carolina or not, you win a game. Saquon sets the single season rushing record. The team should, although squeaking away with a win, they should still be
celebrate their guy.
We won. But realistically, I mean, you make a great point. You have to have control of the locker room. First of all, we see these guys arguing on the side, then subliminally making messages about one another to the media.
I just don't like what I'm seeing in that locker room. I just don't.
But then you think the head coach would say, guys, listen, we're going to cut this bullshit right now. We're not going to talk about each other in front of the media. And then what is their defensive end who's been there for 1,000,000 years? He goes on a radio show the next day.
What did he say? I didn't hear this.
Brandon Graham. So he says, these guys used to have a great relationship. Not so much anymore.
Oh my God. It confirms the rumor. Man, that's why I think podcasts, all these athletes want to be podcasters. Guys, leave it to guys like us. Just go be great athletes because you guys say stuff you shouldn't and it gets you in trouble.
Yeah, foot and mouth. He kept going on.
I would have protected you. I would have cut that scene. You wouldn't have. I would have been like, are you sure you want me to put this out? Because I don't like it. I think it's going to make you look bad or make the team look bad.
And you would think they've lost 6 of 9. They've won 9 in a row.
Yeah.
But what is this team known for? I think they were 10-1 to start last year.
They gagged down the stretch.
And then they just got pounded in the first wild card.
Yeah, Tampa. Yeah.
That's the truth. Well, anyways, Vikings, they whooped my ass, and they whooped the Kirk Cousins, and I would say the Falcons secondary is who costed us that game, not Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
They could not make a stop. If they did make a stop, it was a pass interference. I really cannot believe how bad they played, but I will tell you, the Vikings have somehow found a way to win multiple times, and nobody's talking about them. So I do understand why the team said, well, people need to start talking about us and not just Detroit. Well, people are seeing it. I'll tell you that. I don't want to play the Vikings. Let's mind you, I'm the guy that took the Vikings against the Niners when everybody thought the Niners were the next Jesus Christ.
You did. You
I
absolutely did.
I saw what was there. So all I'm going to say is God bless. I mean, there's not much to say. You guys just keep winning. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a result of phenomenal coaching on both sides of the ball. I think they have one of the best play callers in the league, my personal favorite coach. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they live or die by the blitz. They absolutely focus on shutting down the run, which then puts the game in the opposing QB's hands. I think that plays a major, major role in a lot of their success. And as you mentioned, man, the Falcons secondary gave that game away. They let huge, big broken plays happen.
3rd and 10, 40 yards, pass interference for 45, 50 yards. Stupid.
Ball underthrown, but nobody there. Receiver works his way back to the ball, ends up in the end zone.
Anytime I bet against a team, I'll tell you this. If I bet against a team and the ball's floated up in the air like it was in that game, it's always an interception. Whatever. Next one. Who put this in the fuck? Who put this? The Chicago Jets, we call them, lose again. They blow it in OT. They're bad. I will tell you, there is something in common. The New York Jets and the Chicago Bears have something in common, and they just know how to lose games when it's like close, or all I'm saying is that was a funny statement. The Jets somehow blew a game-winning drive to kick a field goal and win, and turned it into, we kicked a field goal, but we're going to leave you 30 seconds and 3 timeouts to come and beat us. And that's what they did. It's disgusting. It's you know what it is? It's bad coaching.
Yeah, it's bad coaching. They are the Chicago Jets, as I like to call them. There's really nothing that makes me quite as happy as when I see the opposing team with the ball trailing, and they just show Rodgers with the towel wrapped around his neck 46 times on the bench in that last and final possession.
I forgot what this is from, but there's a not looking good. Not looking good. All right, next one. Seahawks are 8-5. They did what I thought they were not going to do. And I will tell you, I bet against them last week, and I thought that they were going to get their butt kicked. And I won't lie. In the second half, they were outplayed. But they really did lay the hammer down in the first half and made it almost feel like the game was over before it even started. It was 7-0. Then all of a sudden it was 17-7. And I'm like, oh my God, the game's over. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
like,
they exploded quickly on the Cardinals.
2 interceptions by Murray early, and then it just murdered the game.
Yeah. Charbonnet looked great for Seattle.
He did.
He did. I mean, they might. I thought Arizona coaching, they blew that game to Minnesota the week before, and it seems like they just can't recover. We've talked about years past. They've had hot starts not too long ago. And
you're right, though. When a team, they lose a game that they should have won, because Arizona should have beat the Vikings.
Minnesota, yep.
The Vikings should have lost to Arizona.
Correct.
And Arizona choked that game, and then it spirals into more. And
Arizona even lost close, to Seattle the week before. I mean, it's kind of been slowly.
It's like a snowball effect of chaos.
For sure.
Interesting.
I think the difference for Seattle right now, from what they were doing in the beginning of the season to now, is that they have really tightened up defensively, which has kept them in a lot of games, because their offense, although they do have a lot of these weapons, and then Geno's kind of quarterbacking it, I'm not impressed by it, but the D continues to get stops, and then that one big play, like you mentioned, they get a 60-yard run.
Right, like DK hasn't done much. DK hasn't done much. JSN's been solid.
Smith and Jigba is really
number one guy.
now. He's their number one.
Yeah,
I could have told you that. Next one, Chicago Bears coaching debut was not a very good one. They had 4 yards in the first half. Somebody made a joke to me and said, if you got up to turn your TV on, you had more yards than the Bears did in the first half, which is a dark statement, but boy, is it true. They're my hometown team. I don't want to say a word about them. I really hope that they do better. I'm worried about them. I am genuinely worried about the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, not a good first audition. 13 points only from the offensive standpoint.
He's not the
calling
head
the plays.
coach anyway, though.
No, he's not. And like I said last week, it's a very tall task when you have to be the head coach and call the plays. And that's why I do feel that the guys who are the head coach and call the plays are the really successful guys around the league. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's a lot to focus on. You're controlling, commanding a team, and ultimately making decisions on the offensive side of the ball. Cousin, let's talk about Josh Allen, though, who goes absolutely crazy.
MVP.
3 passing, 3 rushing touchdowns. First time to ever happen.
I'll tell you this. It's the first time that a guy loses a game, and it makes his MVP odds go higher. Or higher as if like a larger favorite. It's unreal. I will tell you right now, if you bet everyone bet the Bills in that game. You got to be careful for those games. I know I had a bad week last week, and I'll own it. But one thing I could smell is when something smells like provolone. My cousin taught me to leave it alone. But what I did is I bet the opposite of that provolone because I loved Matthew Stafford. He had both of his weapons. Bills secondary is not that good, and that's what they were exposed heavily in that game.
I was all over the Rams. I told you guys about the Rams. When you see a line like that, be very wary. And then, guys, I can't stress it enough. You want to fade the Rams? I mean, really, do you want to fade the 7-6 or 7, whatever they are, the 7-6 Rams?
They're 7-6.
You want to fade a Matthew Stafford seasoned veteran Hall of Famer with Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams? I mean, this team is built for power. They scored 44 points on a Bills defense that is
supposedly good, but I think the Bills showed why they would have trouble winning the Super Bowl. Because I will say that whole game flipped on the punt block. So they maybe could have won, but I'm just saying they got exposed a little bit on defense. Next one, though. Chiefs. Chargers. Another game. So I had the Chargers. Those are my 2 wins of the week. I had a bad week, but I had the Chargers +6 because what I did was I was like, screw it. I don't have a parlay pending. I'm going to wait, get some value. So I waited. I got +6 points, and I got +200 as opposed to +160. I should have won that game. They were up 14-13. They were up 17-16. And then somehow the Chiefs just every game is like a soap opera. It's like a TV show, reality show that's like you know what's going to happen before it happens. They hit the post, but when it's the other side, they get the kick block. As you can see, I'm kind of distraught because I had 100,000 on both sides. So instead of winning 300,000, I ended up breaking even on a game. And I guess I should be happy I broke even. It was 13-0, and I was in the shower. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And I was taking the loss, and I was pretty emotional about it. And then I woke up, and I go, boom, 14-13. I knew it was going to happen. So I don't know. What do you think about the Chiefs? What do you think about the Chargers?
Listen, my thing about the Chiefs, well, first of all, let's focus on the Chargers for a second. The Chargers play fundamental football. They go, here, I want you to imagine this team is way worse on paper offensively than they have been in years past.
Yes.
Yet they produce more. More. But the bottom line is they run the ball and they play D and they play their best. The Chiefs, though, I can't tell you if the Chiefs are a Super Bowl team or if they're just simply a team of destiny or if they're going to die out.
I saw a stat, and a lot of people saw it today. If the one-possession games were all flipped, the Chiefs' record would only have 2 wins and 10 losses.
That'd be something.
That's how crazy the Chiefs' run is right now. And it's reminding me of that Philly team last year that I just was like, they keep winning, but they shouldn't.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm feeling with KC. So don't be surprised if they get knocked out early. Next one, Bengals, they win a game. I'm happy that Mike Parsons showed emotion because it shows that he cares. The Cowboys season's over already, though.
It's over.
So it's like, cousin, just stay healthy at this point.
Micah was doing every single thing in his personal will to win that game, and they still couldn't win. And when you look at a game where it's 20-20.
What's that guy doing, though, trying to grab that ball?
That's what I'm saying. You look at a game, it's 20-20. You're about to get the ball back. You make a magnificent block.
Big brain fart, yeah.
You're about to turn field position
Get
like
out
you
of
wouldn't
the way.
believe. This guy goes to try and Bill Buckner this thing.
Somebody's got to yell, Peter, whatever.
Fire.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy's going right into it.
But check this out. Joe Burrow's house gets broken into during the game.
But his girl was home.
Guys, all I could tell you is this.
Right? I heard.
You're on the national stage. You are here. I am Joe Burrow, the individual. I will be in Dallas on Monday night. That's a guarantee. You have to make sure your home is protected. The world knows that you are in Dallas on Monday night. You're on TV. You're playing. You can't possibly be home in Cincinnati at your house.
I do think that these guys should have someone at their house when they're not in town.
When they're on the road.
Yeah. When they're not, if they're playing in a game, I do believe that they should have. That's a great point. And I think that you could see this negotiated into team contracts in the future is like a security person at their personal residence during, I'm talking big stars, when they're not home. during these away games. Maybe not during home games because that's where you could just have a family member at the house, and that, I mean, a nanny, whatever, a chef, whatever it is, just someone watching the house. But when I'm out of town, I literally have an armed guard at my house.
Yeah.
I do.
Right.
I'm Marco Pomani.
Right.
This is Joe Burrow.
Right. And you think, okay. And you think
wait. Kelsey and Mahomes had the same problem this year.
Exactly. You think guys like
is
this
it the
can learn their
same
lesson.
guys?
That would be something. I don't know.
It could be like, hey, that's what it takes. Hey, Mahomes, Kelsey, they're on the same team. Oh, wait, where are they playing? They're not home.
Same neighborhood?
They're not home. We'll hit both of them right away, real quick.
And I'm curious because there was stuff missing to my knowledge. There was stuff stolen.
Really?
Yeah, there was stuff stolen. The young lady who supposedly is an employee, but I'll tell you that she's way too pretty to be my employee. I'll tell you that. I don't think that's Joe Burrow's employee. Just saying. She
Especially
was at the
if you
house.
come through in the Stefano Ricci special, bro.
How you doing?
This thing is
All right.
this is a beautiful.
But here's what we're gonna
beautiful
do
piece.
now. We're gonna rock and roll, and we're gonna Is this Stefano Ricci? Yeah, it is. We're gonna kick these games off, and we're gonna give you some picks. First game, Rams Niners. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Sean McVay's kryptonite has always been Kyle Shanahan and the Niners. But I'm going to go against that trend. I'm going to give you a pick right away. I'm taking the Rams plus 3.5. It's my least favorite pick of the week, though. I'm warning you now. I don't love it. I'm a little uncomfortable. I actually think I can get better value weighting and live wagering, but I'm just going to lock in 3.5, and I'm going to roll with that because I'll tell you this. San Francisco is 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 versus the Rams. So all the odds tell me I'm making a mistake. Here, San Francisco's 4-1 straight up in its last 5 games when playing at home against Los Angeles Rams. I'm making the wrong pick. So everyone's like, oh, you work for the books now. You're a bum. Okay, fade me then. I'm giving you info to fade.
Yep.
There you go. I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking Purdy 225, and I'm going to let you guys know this entire show, I'm only giving props away this week. I will not be playing any of the games straight up. Props only Purdy 225.
Proppy Tony.
Next game, Cuzzy, the 12-1 Chiefs at the 3-10 Browns, and the Browns.
Did the line drop this much?
I believe so.
The line was 6.5 last I saw.
I can re-pull it up.
You mind pulling it up?
Yeah.
On,
You mind pulling that up? We might have to do a live action on the
it
show
shows
right
it
now.
shows 4.5.
That's impossible. I don't want to.
Yeah, it did open though. Like you said, it's 6.5.
I'm pulling up my book right now, Fanatic Sports.
Yeah, show
Please
4.5.
NFL.
While you do that.
And the one stat for Cleveland.
It is 4.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
This Cleveland Super Bowl. I have a lean. My lean is Cleveland plus 4.5. But I'm not gonna bet it. That's a lean. If I can get Cleveland plus double digits in this game at any point, I will indeed take plus double digits. So hopefully an early Chiefs touchdown, and then grab Cleveland plus 10.5.
Yeah, Cleveland in December home games as the dog has won just 5 of their last 27.
That's my lean.
Yeah.
I don't love it. It's a lean. Do you have anything there?
Jameis is going to rip.
I got nothing, and I'm going to tell you guys,
This is
beware.
Jameis' Super Bowl.
Beware of the line drop for the sole fact that
They clinched the division.
And also that the spread percentage-wise is actually favoring the Browns right now. Mm-hmm. People are on that spread, believe it or not, 4.5.
They're on the Browns?
They are. They're on the spread. On the money line, it's way lopsided for the Chiefs.
Sure.
But getting those points, however, that 4.5 is very meaningful to a lot of the nation.
What was it? Yeah, 5 years.
Well, wouldn't
yeah.
be surprised if the Chiefs win by by a single possession again.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's what they do.
Anyways, that's a lean. Next game, Bengals at the Titans. This is a really weird game. I want nothing to do with it, but I want to give some stats out. Cincinnati has gone 9-2 against the spread on the road again in the last 11. That includes the game last week.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati has gone 8-3 against the spread as road favorites in the last 10 games. Includes the game against Dallas, which they shouldn't have covered. Tennessee as home dogs in the last 5 seasons have gone 1-4 straight up, 1-3, and 1 push against the spread. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a weird, remember that smells like provolone, but I don't have the balls to bet the other side. So this is a be careful game. That's all I'm going to say. I could see the Bengals blowing them out and somehow the Bengals winning, the next 4 games and saying, oh, we're 9-8 and we're out of the playoffs, because that's what probably is going to happen. But
they're in that fake category they put up all the time on TV where it says, in the hunt.
In the hunt, yeah. And then you look at the Bengals defense, and there's plays where you still are like, yeah, this defense is not good.
No.
Horrible.
Yeah, no bueno.
It's not good.
So all night last night, I said, man, I think I like the Bengals -5. I think they could do it. But I'm going to tell you what scares me about this game.
What?
And that's that the Bengals throw the ball about 50 times a game. And while they are playing the 3-10 Titans, who in your mind is not a good football team, which they
of
are.
the Titans is what?
Number 1 pass D in the National Football League. If they do one thing good in the whole season, it's defend the pass.
Which is crazy because you'd never expect it.
Never.
Yeah, this is like one of those alt spreads where you take Tennessee plus 7.5, 8 or something.
Yeah, it's
All
the
right.
Titans are piss poor.
Next one, Commanders are at the Saints. The line's 7.5. I'm here to tell you 7.5 that's scary because Derek Carr's out.
Right.
Broken wrist. That's a weird line. I mean, that's weird.
Washington coming off a bye. You wonder if they're going to get it going because they've kind of scuffled the last few weeks.
They should win this game. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
That's a weird line, though. I mean,
Yep.
that's losers in 6 straight as home dogs plus 6 is New Orleans. New Orleans losers of 7 in the last 10 home dog games.
Right. Commanders have scuffled against teams like the Titans and Cowboys. They're not going to the postseason. Now they get the Saints.
The Saints are so desperate. I mean, with all due respect, they're so desperate. They signed Ben DiNucci this morning
I saw that.
as their QB. I mean, I really don't even know how the line is. 7.5. I guess
Ben
they're at home.
DiNucci.
That's 10.5.
Making Italians great again.
I'm going to give you guys a pick in this game. I'm going to go, because I do think it's somehow going to be a dogfight. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels, 200 pass yards in this game. JD, 200.
All right. I can see that. I don't have a game pick there. I just don't.
I don't blame you.
All right, next one. Ravens are at the Giants. I'll tell you this, I said it, I put it on my story. I don't even know what the line is, but I'm going to take it. And if one of you can find it, it's Lamar rushing yards. Whatever it is, I don't have a choice. I'm taking it. His mom yelled at him. And when my mom yells at me, I go and I figure it out. So I think my man's going to run all over the Giants' tee. I think it's going to be a disaster. But like I said, with these bad teams, it turns into this is their Super Bowl. This is like hey, we had a bad year, but see what we did against the Ravens, You got to be careful there. But I think Lamar has a ton of – I think Lamar plays like and one mixtape Lamar.
Ooh.
That's my –
Well, I'll tell you what.
when remember wow –
Skip to my Lou.
yeah. Whoop!
Whoop. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes,
baby.
Chris Berman.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah,
Berman, yeah.
Berman. Oh, yeah.
So the Giants come into this game 31st or 32nd against the run. With that being said, I think Derrick Henry is going to do nasty, nasty things in this game. I'm going to take him 85 over 85 rushing in this game.
I think it's impossible if you bet Lamar and Henry, I don't think it's possible to lose both.
I would agree with you.
I think it's impossible to lose both bets.
Someone will have their way with this Giants
Some will have a few chunk plays. Lamar 23-2 against NFC teams, counting that recent loss to Philly, but still he's been fairly dominant.
He's just absolutely slapping the NFC around. He really is.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Every time he plays NFC, it's almost free cash.
This is a crazy game we're about to get into. Cowboys at the Panthers. The Panthers are only plus 1.5 against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry, I don't have a pick. Bryce Young looks absolutely fantastic. The kid's figured it out. Is he the quarterback of the future?
We do have a line change. Do you want to?
What is it?
It's changed a lot since basically midnight last night. It's now in favor of Carolina, favored, and up to 2.5 now officially.
Carolina's minus 2.5.
Minus 2.5. I saw plus 1.5. Some had it at a near pick, but
Carolina in the last 5 games is 5-0 against the spread. Do you want to bet against them this week? That is your only question. And as that lady on Deal or No Deal says, bye-bye. Yes. She hits the button. That's kind of how that looks to me. That's crazy game. Listen, I'm going to tell you as a gambler, for the love of God, do not lock in a pregame bet. Live wager it.
I lied to you guys. I lied to each and every one of you.
You're going to make a game bet.
I'm going to make a game bet. I haven't made a game.
And you heard Brooks tore his
game
ACL again for Carolina, the rookie. So Chuba Hubbard's going to have to...
That's fine.
Yeah.
He's a star.
He is.
I'm going to make a game bet. It's going to be my only game bet of the week. I hope it wins. It's the Carolina Panthers on the money line at home hosting the Cowboys. And I got news for you guys. That Panthers secondary, to me personally, they're one of the best in the NFL. They are going to give Cooper Rush the time of his life, I believe. And I'm also, because of that, I'm going to be taking Rico Dowdle for 60 rush in this game. I know his volume gets deteriorated a little bit when Elliott comes in the game, but he's had over 100 in the last 2 weeks. And I really like the way
Elliott
he's
needs
running
to
the
be
ball.
at McDonald's getting a double cheeseburger. He's done. All right, next one. Jets, Jags. A game that you thought might be good preseason. It's now Jags are plus 3.5. I'm pretty sure it's Mac Jones playing because Lawrence is
likely done
on
for
DND for the rest of the year. Do not disturb. I don't know what to say about this Jets team.
Jets, Jags. That'll be played on your local TV provider. They're going to give that one away for free this weekend. It's going to be that bad.
That's the one that should be in London or Germany on ESPN Plus, ESPN 8 Ocho.
I'm bothered because these matchups this late in the season shouldn't be this bad.
They're bad.
They're bad.
Like, this is Mac
Cowboys,
Jones,
Panthers,
too. This is Mac Jones.
The problem is the disparity in teams this year is so severe.
For sure. You're going to get a lot of double-digit win teams and a lot of double-digit
lost teams.
Yes.
And that's crazy.
I'm going to give a pick out in this game.
Oh, my God. What are you
Wow.
thinking?
I'm going to give Aaron Rodgers 215 in this game. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw the ball through that Amelander Swiss secondary that the Jags put out there week after week, then he really is not who I thought he was. Aaron Rodgers 215.
All right. I got a pick for the next game.
Ooh. Beautiful. Next game, the 6-7 Dolphins at the 8-5 Texans. And I might be able to smell the provolone all the way from Houston, minus 2.5 in this one.
I'm going to be taking the Dolphins plus 3.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you why. This team, they only play good when the weather's good. And that's a dome. So they're going to be fine there. Not only that, I have this weird inkling that they had like an epiphany against the Jets when they came back and won. It's like something clicked. And I have this weird feeling. And that line dropped, by the way. That line was higher. But it was I was getting more points in that Dolphins game before. Mm-hmm. So I'm on the Dolphins plus 3 here. I feel really good about it. It might be my game of the week that I love the most. And don't be surprised if you see a lot of scoring in this game. Just saying.
Miami is 4-1 straight up in its last 5.
Which is weird.
Yes.
Which is weird. But Houston has won 8 of the last 9 at home as a favorite.
They have.
There's a lot of back and forth in this game.
I love Miami plus 3.
Take a look at this game closely. Don't get trapped.
I love Miami plus 3. I'm going to have you take the next game, cuz.
Next game, Colts 6-7 at Mile High. The 8-5 Broncos minus 4 in this game.
This is it for Indy. If they have any prayer, they're going to have to run the table. And there's 5, second window games this week. No bye teams, 16 games. So there's 5 games at 305, 325. This is one of them. Denver's been licking their chops, I think, defensively. I know they give some yards and points to Jameis, but Denver's covered 15 of the last 20 as home favorites of 3+ points.
That thin air is just killing people, man.
Yes, Surtain's been pretty much locking up one end, and they've been getting a good pass rush. So this could be a team that maybe moves up in the wild card rankings. It'll be interesting to see how they finish.
It's a tough game.
You like this game?
It's a tough game.
It's a little strange. I mean, the Colts, I have to tell you, if there's one team that I could say, you know what, I'm going to stay away from every game they play in at all costs. I never know what they're going to do. It's the Indy Colts. I really don't know.
Which team's going to show up? So I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to take the Colts plus 4. I like the Colts plus 4. There's no thought, I didn't even look into this game. You ever just get that gut feeling and you could just see it playing out? I'll take plus 4.
Yeah, on the road, the Colts versus AFC West teams have gone 29-1 against the number.
Wow. That's a really nice number.
Yeah, it is.
Cuzzy, let's talk next game, the 10-3 Bills at the 12-1 Lions, the most anticipated game of the week.
This is definitely the most anticipated game of the week, at least on my schedule. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
I am so excited to see. I'm so excited to see how this game plays out because I think it's going to be a battle of the offenses. I think both defenses get shredded here. I think the over comes in relatively easy. I could see it starting slow though, and then all of a sudden just pick up fast. I don't know how to feel about this game. I really don't. My gut tells me, hey, the Bills are going to come out and they're going to get a win here. and the Lions are due for a loss. And I'll tell you, nobody wants a loss more than the Vikings. So what I want you to do is I want you to keep an eye out because the Bears play the Vikings at 7 p.m.
Yep, Monday night.
I've got a weird feeling that if the Bills beat the Lions, the Vikings put an ass beating on the Bears. But if the Bills beat if the Lions beat the Bills,
Right.
I think the Vikings are going to be a little bit mentally messed up, and I think the Bears have a possibility to win that game.
Or that's an excellent point because the Vikings by 720, if the Lions lose, they might be, or if the Lions win,
Right.
they might be like, well, we're going to win too. We're playing the Bears. And then, teams like that, they get caught sleeping. All of a sudden they're down 14, to even the Bears are horrible.
I don't know. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but yeah, I could see this game controlling the outcome of another game.
I'm going to go Josh Allen, 240 in this game. If the Bills are going to win, they're going to throw the shit out of the ball against a very weak secondary in the Detroit Lions. I must admit, if that team has a flaw, it's their secondary.
I think both teams are going to get shredded.
They might. It
It
might be
opened
an
as
absolute...
the highest total
You
of the
feeling the
NFL
over?
season.
You feeling the over?
Yeah.
It's somehow
Hey,
people.
you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I think everybody's on the over. But I think this is like the game where hey, the public here's a free win. And that's how it feels.
54 and a hook.
Some have got it down to 53 and a half, but it opened 54 and a hook.
So
that was the
53.
high. Yeah.
All right, I'll take 53 and a half.
Yeah.
Done. Cuz, do me a favor. Take it at 53, would you?
50, just 5-3?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take 53.
Thank you.
I'm going to bet that over 53.
Okay.
Could be a 30-27 or higher scoring. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
It would blow my mind if they came out there and it was 21-17
Yeah,
or
since,
something like that.
other than the
Blow my
Tampa
mind.
game, Detroit has not scuffled at all at home, really. I mean, J-Mo's been going well, been doing well, beating chunk plays, St. Brown's, Laporta. Now you got Tim Patrick finding the end zone. You got Gibbs and Sonic and Hedgehog, and Knuckles, Gibbs and Monty.
Oh, I got one. I got to move on, guys. I do love this game, but the next game really gets me going.
Get it going.
So this line opened up at 5.5, okay, and it's down to 4.5. I am on the Eagles minus 4.5 and on the money line against the Steelers. I know the Steelers are hot, and I know Philly. We've had our problems, you and I, but I think the Eagles are going to put an ass beating on the Steelers, and I think it's going to be bad, and I think they're going to throw the ball because I don't think the Steelers secondary is very good. And I think they're going to get their ass beat. I really do. I think all the barking, people are going to get fed. I think it's going to be a problem. I think you're going to see Hurts' legs a lot in this game. And when the legs come, that means the safeties come up, and then they're going to get beat over the top. Get ready for an interesting show.
I think it's going to be a very, very interesting show. I do not have a pick for this game, but I am looking forward to seeing the way in which Tomlin comes at Sirianni. He's a little bit inexperienced, definitely inexperienced opposed to Tomlin. Tomlin knows there's some turmoil there. I wonder if they're going to kind of rough A.J. Brown up a little
into
bit.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Tomlin, of any coach in the league, feasts on stuff like that.
I agree with that. All right, next one. Patriots at Cardinals. I do not have a pick. Somehow the Cardinals line's down to 5.5 from 6.5, which is crazy. These lines are flipping a lot. Usually in the NFL, you do not get line movement that fast.
Not on this many games.
No,
Right.
every game's different. It's really interesting. So I don't have a pick on that game. And Anthony, do you?
You could get this one on Craigslist for $9.99.
All right, next one. This is probably a really bizarre matchup. It's Bucks versus Chargers. You're gonna laugh at me. I kind of like the under in this game. I hate over-unders, but I could just see this game kind of going back and forth, punt, 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 and I could just see it being that way. The line's 3. Be careful, Chargers bettors. That's weird.
And they're banged up. McConkey, Disley.
Will Disley, yeah.
Yeah, really since Dobbins got hurt. And they do have a Thursday night showdown at home against Denver next week. So they're not going to miss the playoffs, but these next 2 games could impact whether the top wild card and get the Texans on the road or potentially drop to the 7, especially if they were to lose to Denver next week, and maybe have to open up at Buffalo.
I'll tell you who's cheering for the Chargers. The Falcons.
Big time.
The Falcons.
Absolutely, they are.
I don't have a pick in this game, but I would like to see the Bucks lose.
Is
personally.
McConkey playing in this game?
We don't know for sure yet, but
It has not been announced.
Yeah, we'll find out more Thursday, Friday. But he obviously missed his last game. Got dinged up the week prior. Disley got dinged up too. So I think that's why the line's a little low right now. So that's when you might have to wait till 10:30 Central, or in this case, 2:00 p.m. Central to see the kickoffs, injury reports. So
I'm going to go Herbert 215 in this game. I'm going to bank on McConkey playing. I'm going to go Herbert 215 against a Buck secondary that behind Todd Bowles is usually very solid, but has struggled immensely this season.
I do have a pick for the next game. Packers at the Seahawks.
Sunday night.
Call me a cheesehead because I love the Packers. This matchup in Seattle reminds me of when the refs were on strike and they called the touchdown interception, costed me a lot of money back then. It was $10,000. I thought I was going to have to cry to my parents to get the money back then. It happened so long ago. I was devastated because I lost on that, by the way. But long story short, I'm on the Packers here on the money line. I think the game that I thought the Seahawks were going to have last week is this week. And the Seahawks are +3 at home. I think people are going to like that. I'm taking the Packers on the ML. What's scary, though, is Seattle's 19-4 straight up against NFC North at home.
Yeah.
Scary.
But Green Bay 6-0-1 against the spread in its last 7 when playing Seattle.
And they've covered 5 straight against the NFC West. Seattle gets to host Minnesota next week, so it's like the Seattle Invitational against the NFC North.
I need the Seahawks to lose this game so I can take Eugenio against the Vikings.
There you go.
Oh, Eugenio against the Vikings?
I would really enjoy that, yeah.
Yeah, he will. He will.
I like that, Eugenio. And a lot of people tagged you to be on the show. I'm going to bring you on, and I'm going to play clips of things I've said about you.
Love it.
Well, I look at you and just see where it goes.
It's going to be fun. Having a bodyguard there.
Yeah. Walker might not play again. He's dinged up for Seattle. So
I love the Packers here.
Yeah.
Green Bay's I think that's a really good pick, cousin.
Thank you. All right, next game, Bears at Vikings. Guys, I do not have a pick for this game yet. I really want to see what happens in that Detroit Bills game. For some reason, I feel like it's tied in. I am going to release, I don't even have a parlay for you to put on the show this week because I want to wait a little longer. We're filming on Tuesday night. I want to get a parlay together. I'm going to post it on Sunday, and I'm going to give you a nice, 30-1 parlay. But I want to wait because I want to make sure I give you the best parlay possible. And it might even include this game. So just give me time on that one.
Minnesota, they've failed to cover in 6 straight divisional home games. But the Bears, if you're looking to fade the Bears, they've lost 21 of 30 at Minnesota as a dog. So they've struggled. I know they did win that Monday night game last year with Fields.
Right. They did.
And now they get another Monday night game at Minnesota.
I remember that game actually.
DJ Moore caught lone late. Yeah.
And then they almost gave the game up. At the very end, it was like Joshua Dobbs.
We always try.
They do a great job.
Let me tell you something. The Bears are like the Salvation Army. They just give it all away.
Oh man. Yeah, it's been rough.
I'm going to take Aaron Jones, 50 rushing in this game. And I will tell you guys this, and some people will get mad about it, but I don't really care. Eberflus, listen, not everybody's a head coach. I've talked to you guys about this before. But the bottom line is this. Is he a horrible clock management coach?
Sure.
Yes. Is he a bad head coach?
Sure.
Did he lose control of the locker room?
Sure.
Did the Bears give up 38 when he wasn't calling D?
Yes.
Okay. He's a great DC, guys. He called good D for 2 years. We stopped a lot of people. We had the #1 red zone defense in the league. Last week, we gave up 38. We haven't been able to stop the run whatsoever. Aaron Jones, 50 in this game.
I don't hate it. That's all I'll say. Next game, Falcons at the Raiders. Falcons should be able to get a win here. There is no reason they shouldn't be able to get a win here.
I want to take them.
Do I like the game? No. Do I like the spread? No. Do I like how it looks? No. But I'll take the Falcons money line and I'll live with the results.
And O'Connell's likely out for this game, of course. So Ritter's probably.
I'll take money line. You know what scares me is it's Desmond Ritter's revenge game.
Yeah.
Every guy, he's like, I'll show him what they lost.
He plays the game of his life.
Allegiant Stadium scares me on Monday night. It really does. I feel like every Monday night game that I ever watch as a kid, when the Raiders are in it, they scratch and claw and fight and sometimes win. I'm going to have to stay away from this game as much as I want to take the Falcons on the ML and lay some juice lumber down. I'm going to stay away from them, Cuzzy. But here, the bottom line is, Atlanta as road favorites, 5-5 straight up and against the spread. I mean, they are not good on the road. That's as simple as their season.
That's what scares me, but they need to win here. Right. Like, the Falcons need to win here. Like, if they have any chance for the postseason, They need to win the division. They need to win the game. So I'm taking it. I don't like it, and that's how it is.
Especially if Tampa Bay were to win the prior day, somehow at the Chargers, if they were to win that game. That would be a must-win for the Falcons. If they were to lose that game at Vegas and lose, I know they have the tiebreaker, but if they're 2 games back.
Yeah, you're dead.
And you lose now, you're
You bring up a good point.
Real quick,
yeah.
I'm going to be with Michael Rubin this Thursday. Long story short, I'm going to be going to, the reason I'm not giving out a parlay yet really is because I want to wait. But 2, I want to make a petition to try and get him to give us like a Cousins boost on the app this weekend with the parlay that I give out. I want to be able to say, hey, can we give like a no sweat bet where it's a free parlay for you to plug in? Or can I give my guys a 50% boost on my parlay I give out? I want to go to bat for us. I want to try and get something to kick off the show with a partnership. So stay tuned. I'm going to get something. I'm a great mooch when I need to be. Let me cover this, Stefano Ricci. I'm a great mooch when I need to be. Let me go to work. Hey, you gotta help us out. Help us out. Give me a little milk, cuz.
Is that what that was, milk?
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah.
It was like Meet the Parents.
Yeah. Mom, remember Liar Liar and the
yes,
Mama.
Mama. Yes. Carrie.
All right. We love you. Stay tuned. My parlay will be posted by Sunday around 11 o'clock. I'll have it posted up for you. Or if I get it up earlier, because I get an agreement with Fanatic Sportsbook, I'll try and get it up by Saturday evening. That way you're able to tail. I love you. We appreciate you. Stay locked in and get ready for the largest guest you've ever seen to kick off a show ever.